What's up, y'all, and welcome back to AAB TV. We are back for another installment of the Abbott Elementary Recap. I am your girl, AAB TV, better known as Authentically Audrey B TV. Yes, I'm Audrey B, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. So let's get into the video. Alright, y'all, so not really, I would say, too much is going on in this episode from last night. So we see in the beginning that the strike is still happening. The teachers are in the lounge looking at the news. You know, they've been going back and forth for what they say 12, 11 hours, something like that, trying to negotiate things. And you know, Mr. Johnson is getting, you know, talking about how he don't care about, like, he cares about the strike, but he's enjoying the fact that he has time to redecorate, time to do basically what he want to do, play board games and all of that. And did y'all see he played Life? Y'all, I've been wanting to buy Life for so long, and I think I'm gonna go tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go to Target, because I saw it last night, and buy the game of Life. That was me and my sisters and my best friend's favorite game to play back in the day, y'all. I love the game of Life. But anyway, he was playing board games, and you know, the other teachers was just like over it, because they so sick of the hybrid learning, which, you know, some kids were coming face to face, other kids was online, and not everybody was feeling it. And so then it was like right after, you know, Mr. Johnson was talking about how he's enjoying it for real, they come back and say that the strike was over. And so now that the strike is over and all the kids are starting to come, you know, no more online classes and stuff, A was just like, you know, trying to give them, you know, the rundown, but she really ain't saying much. She's like, y'all know what to do. So while in the midst of her talking, while she's in there talking to her staff, in comes the guy from the golf course, who, you know, they always have their, you know, go back and forth, you know, with him a lot of the times, and they are not fans of him. He really is not a fan of them either, but he comes to cordially invite them to what he calls like a pre-grand opening or something like that of the Girard Creek. And Barb was like, who? Basically, Girard Creek, or not basically, but it is the name of the golf course that we all know nobody wants in the neighborhood, all the gentrification, all those things going on. And so he invites them there, says that, and that, you know, that they want Abbott to come, all the staff, all the students, it's on them, like they'll provide the transportation, and everybody's like, man, get out of here. And then he says, oh, there'll be free food and drinks and all the other stuff. So everybody's like, oh, well, you should have said that. So they end up, you know, the following day going there. But if you paid attention, like Janine from the jump, she was not really like too fond of him, and she really was trying to figure out, you know, what, like, why all of a sudden you want to come to Abbott, why all of a sudden, like, you want us there, like, what are you trying to do? Like, she just felt like there was something up his sleeve or whatever. And so from then they have this whole experience at Girard Creek. So let's get into it. They are arriving, everybody is there, and they the kids are just enjoying themselves. They see that they pull they put up all the stops. Basically, they got all the good food, the truffles, which I've never tasted, don't think I want to, even though I love mushrooms, but they did not look good to me. But if you try truffles, is it good? I don't know. Let me know. But anyways, the kids are enjoying the interactive golf. You know, they show them, like, basically, you know, the outside where the field is, the golf course or whatever. And in the midst of all of this, we remember from last episode, Jacob had been trying to get RJ involved in some stuff that he enjoys, or try to figure out what he enjoyed to do. And so, you know, he was like, I don't want to stop, I don't want to quit until I figure that out. So let's make sure we hold on to that. So again, Janine is so skeptical about everything that's going on, but yet and still throughout the entire episode, she's enjoying all of the things that they're offering. She's wearing the merch. She's drinking the Arnold Palmer's, which is one of my favorite drinks, y'all. And if you don't know, Arnold Palmer was a man who was a golfer, and that was a drink that he made popular, a drink that he really enjoyed. And so, like, everywhere I go, I always get one. If you're not familiar with Arnold Palmer, if you are a Chick-fil-A fan like I am, they call it a Sunjoy, but this forever will be Arnold Palmer, which is tea and lemonade. And Janine couldn't figure out what the second ingredient was. She knew it was lemonade, but she thought it was Pepsi mixed with it. I'm like, girl, really? But anyway, she was like drinking them down. She was eating all the food up. And speaking of food, prior to them going to the golf course on their field trip, Janine was bummed out because she had made plans with her and her friend Erica to go to this new Persian France cuisine type of restaurant or whatever. And she was talking to Barb, and she was talking to her, saying like, she's just like basically like, what can I do, you know, because she knew that her man, Mr. Greg, did not like food, right? So while she's like basically like complaining about it or whatever, and talking about like trying to go and be the only person there, and if she eats for two, will they say anything? Like, she was like, you know, Barb behind her back, like talking to Greg at the table, like, you know, trying to hint him or get him to understand, like, you need to be the one that like is her date. You need to tell her that you're gonna go with her. Now, when he finally got it and was like, oh, I'll go with you, would you mind if I went? She was like, are you sure? Because like I just said, she knows that he doesn't like no type of food, no trying nothing new. He sticks to the same thing every single day. And Barb was basically like, you know, this is gonna be nice. This is something that me and my husband do. We love it. And this is, you know, a sign of love, you know, and it'll help couples just fall more in love and spend quality time together and all that other stuff. So Janine's like, okay. So they're excited or whatever. So we go back to the field trip at the golf course. Like I said, Janine is skeptical, but she's still trying all the things. She's eating them basically out of house and home. And so as they are, you know, just going around, just mingling or whatever, Barb and Greg have a conversation, and she's basically telling him, you know, or asking him, trying to figure out why he is so like gung-ho about not eating certain things, why he's so picky and stuff like that. And basically using that experience of all of the food and the things that they have for them, the hors d'oeuvres and the meals and all that stuff that they have at the golf course, like basically it's exposure therapy. So their whole time there, she's trying to get Greg to expand his palate, so that he'd be prepared to go and enjoy his time with Janine, so that he won't disappoint her. And we all know when she said that made him be like, oh gosh, okay. And he did okay. All right, y'all. So as the day goes on, they are like I said, mingling and just having a good time. And Jacob finds out that RJ is excited about golf. He's enjoying himself. He really has fallen in love with the game for the short time that they have been there, and that just makes Jacob just feel so very happy. Even all the kids are noticing how well RJ is doing, even though the golfing is like simulated in a way. They're like doing it with the screen. And while him and Janine are trying to figure out like what's really going on behind this whole entire day of Abbott being at Girard Creek, they stumble upon the man, you know, that's over it. And y'all forgive me because I don't even remember his name. But basically he got one of the kids to make this statement in a video, and they just like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean, like, you want him to be in a video? For what? Like, why? And so they're saying, like, you know, telling other kids, if somebody asks you what your experience is here, make sure that you know it's okay to tell them no. Like, why are you trying to be all up in our kids' faces, like you don't want nothing to do with them, like what's going on. So that even sparks their skepticism even more. Like they're like, okay, like what's really going on? So while everybody's doing all of that, Ava is talking with Melissa, and they're enjoying all of the things that they got for them, all of the things that that you could imagine, the food, the just the whole scenery, all the things that they have pulled for them. And so they are, how do you say, inspired, I guess, to basically try to, or they actually did, steal something from the golf course and make some money on the back end. And when they do that, that whole scene was just a mess, but it was hilarious, y'all. So by the time Janine really started to put two and two together, the guy that basically ran the whole thing, he decided to have this huge photo op with teachers and the students and a three-legged dog. And they was like, why are you taking pictures of us? Like, what the heck is really going on? To the point where they took the one white kid and pushed him to the back. And then I was like, oh, I see what's going on. Then there was a comment that was made when RJ asked what he could do to be a part of the club, and how he could get started. And the guy made a little comment, and then you seen all the black people like looking at each other like, no, this man did not just do that. And so right then and there, Janine was just like, oh no, see, this ain't gonna work. She was like, nah, something's up. So everybody is still mingling after the photo op, and here comes Ava. She's like on her phone, and she sees a post from him, or from the actual Girard Creek golf course, and basically they found out that they were used as a way for them to seem like they're doing something good for the community, that they're just out here making things right for the kids in this like urban area, and that basically they're a charity, which Ava is not about to be called charity. She was like, oh no. So they all decided to go and talk to dude while he was hiding in his office, and they basically was telling him like, hey, yo, you used us, and he was like, oh really? Well, y'all used me, because if you remember in previous episodes, they was like bribing him with different stuff so they can get things for their kids, in order for for them not to blow the whistle on certain things that he was doing and stuff. So I'm like, see, now you're doing too much, sir. You done got them kids all riled up, excited about something new, doing something new, and here you are using them and really ain't even feeling them like that. And so Jacob was really messed up. Like, he was really ticked off, because he was like, no, you didn't. Like, you got RJ all happy about this, like I just said, and you want to sit up here and make it seem like he ain't welcome here, and he said that in the beginning of the episode too, like the game of golf is like very it's not really inclusive. It's not a lot of black folk, and they did have some like little black history facts in there from the first black man who was in the tournament or whatever. And but Jacob don't play. He don't play about his students, and he don't play about people trying to play black people. So Jacob was fired up, and he was like, you're not about to get my student all right up and then say that he can't be here, or basically like say that you don't want nothing to do with him after today. And to be all the way real, it wasn't even a grand opening, because the guy was just like, this ain't even the real grand opening. Like, basically, like I said, they just used them to get like basically get attention. And so Jacob was like, we're not having it. Janine, she was going on and on about what's in the Arnold Palmer's. Homegirl was just hyped up off of the sugar. She done had 17 Arnold Palmer's and couldn't handle it. And Melissa decided to blow the whistle on what her and Ava did, or what they stole in their little heist, and was like, because he at first was making it seem like he was going to agree with whatever proposition they gave him, and he was like, psych, and I was like, oh no, he didn't. And so then that's when Ava pulled out, you know, the things that they had that made him actually agree to having a golf program. So any student who's interested gets to be part of a golf program that goes to Abbott. And what Melissa and Ava used, the guy was like, oh my gosh, my babies. Like, he was just like, I can't believe y'all got those. How did y'all get them? Like, they really knew what they were doing. They used what they had. Instead of trying to get their money, they $4K a pop, they decided to use it as leverage to, again, get that man to do something good for them. Because if you're going to be in our neighborhood, you're going to help our kids, and you're not going to sit up here and act like, you know, we're not welcome here when you're intruding on our space. Right? Right. So he agrees to it, and it makes Jacob happy at the end of the day. And this is what really pulled on my heartstrings. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, Jacob really cares. And he even got choked up while he was talking about it the following day. Everybody it was like back at school, and he overheard a conversation between RJ and a couple of the other kids talking about like what the golf program is going to be. Do they have to be as good as he is? And he was like, no, you just come and you learn the game, and you know, all the stuff like that. And it just made Jacob really feel so much better at the fact that finally one of his students is interested in something. But it also made him think a little bit deeper as well. And by a little bit deeper, I mean, he basically said, you know, it was good that I was able to, you know, kind of dig and find out what actually interested one of my students. But he was like, it doesn't stop with just him. There's so many other kids that he wishes that he could pull to the side and get to know and find a hobby for them, find out things that they're interested in, get them involved in certain things so that they could feel more confident, so they can feel like they're a part of something, so they can be outside of their environment and experience new things. And he was just like, but you know, I'm just one person, I can't do it. But it makes his heart happy. It makes him feel like his teaching job is something that it is something that he loves, and it reminds him of why he does what he does. Like I always say, you know, remembering his why, and not just being just in the classroom, but actually like really getting into being in a relationship with these kids. And then also just seeing how they light up when they are involved in things, when they are a part of something, when they do finally figure out what that thing is, what their why is. It just makes you feel so good. And I can truly relate to that, even though I don't work with, 8th graders, I work with preschool, but it's still the same thing. Like, from them learning how to write their name in the beginning of the year they couldn't, or remembering how to spell their name, or things like that. And I just be like, oh my God, like it just really makes you feel like, oh, I really did something. And then all of them, as usual, joining together to get, I guess you can say, for the greater good of Abbott, of their students. Like, they don't play about their kids. And Janine was right the whole entire time. Like, she felt it. Like she said, she felt it in her stomach. She knew it wasn't her anxiety. She was like, I knew something was up. I knew you was trying to play us, but at the end of the day, they came out on top. And then as far as Greg and Barb throughout the episode, like I said, she was trying to help him to experience new food and figure some things out. Barb found out that basically because of how he was raised, they was raised to only eat for nourishment and protein and all the other stuff. They ate the same things. It was bland, no flavor, and that's just what he's used to. She was just like, but how do you know you don't like something if you don't try it? And that's why she kept on trying to expose him to different food. And that man was going crazy. He was running, he was cussing, and Barb was like, oh my gosh. And he kept on apologizing, but finally she basically, I guess you could say, kind of like tricked him to try something new. He thought it was just, butter noodles, but it ended up being something else in there that he said he didn't like, but had never truly tried. You know how people are. And ended up enjoying it, ended up liking it and feeling really good. And like he said, he felt good to have hope. And so at the end of the episode, him and Janine are at the dinner. It's really fancy. He's eating it. He's explaining how it all tastes. And Janine's like, yeah, I get it. I'm eating it too. But at the end of the day, I don't really like it. And he was like, oh, thank God. Let's go get some food. And they left. And that was basically the end of the episode. So you guys, sorry if anything, it was all for seemed rushed. I had to, do a couple of things. And it's raining out here. But I enjoyed the episode as usual. If I missed anything, let me know, because I'll be going a mile a minute. I know I do. And what did you think about the episode? What were your favorite parts? And my favorite part is when Greg dropped the F-bomb at the golf course and Barb was like, ah! It was so funny. But anyways, y'all, I am going to get off of here. Like I said, it's raining and I gotta pay attention. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and I will see you again on the next one. I appreciate you. Yes, I do. See y'all next week. Bye. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.